I got a huge brain fart. Like, I'm doing everything out of order today. Brain fart. Like, yep. See, already. Um, hello, Kelchan. I also never set up my video bits. So hold on. Let's start playing stuff. But you just set up the text is. Does that look good? It's readable. Okay, whatever. Hello. Cassius made it. Hello. And I just realized too, another thing I didn't do is I am running at way too high of a resolution right now. That cannot. I might have to restart the stream actually. So hold on a sec. Everything is built for running at 1080, and it is now getting way too much screen. Wait. Let me see. I could probably fix it. We're just gonna scale it down. There we go. Oh, we'll see how that goes. Okay. SFM runs a lot better if I'm not running at 2K. Sometimes even if I'm working on my own, I'll drop it to 1080. Anything to get performance when you're running at like 5 frames a second on something. No, if I don't I hate trying to restart the stream for anything. It's stupid. What's in the agenda? Like nothing. Oh, this is the one funny thing. I'm gonna open up a new one just for just and giggles. When I don't know if anybody else has a 2K or 4K screen. So if you're running on a higher resolution, the preview screen is still going to be 720, which leaves you with this awkwardness. You can kind of see. Stupid load times. But no, I don't have anything really planned for today. I kind of want to actually go back to the original plan I had at the beginning of this year where I just work on short stuff. Because that was where my original intent is. I didn't want to get stuck on anything big for a while, and then I did. Just realized, whatever, I'm not going to care about that thing down there. So it's off too. But, so I kind of want to do that, but yeah, so see, the preview window is still at 720. So this is the biggest I can get the preview window to. Which is another reason that I don't really like running on 2K. But also, I'm pretty sure everything's kind of weird looking too. Yes, the mug from BronyCon. Yeah, so I haven't actually streamed since then. So I was at BronyCon last weekend, which was a lot of fun. Even though next year's gonna be the last, still got one more to go. I got this nifty little mug from the Wild Bills, yeah, and it's actually really good for insulating. So I'm having me some cider. It's 22 ounces. It's huge. But you got free soda if you bought the mug. It was a $30 mug, but you got free soda for the whole weekend, so that kind of covered some of my drink costs. And it's actually a really nice mug. Like, if you fill this thing full of ice, it doesn't sweat, which is really nice. But no, we premiered Doors 3, which went over very well. I recorded a reaction. If you had worked on Doors 3 or submitted something for Doors 3 and you're not in the Doors 3 Discord, you should be, because you can actually see the reaction now. So if you want to see the reaction to people watching it. So though that went well, I showed my little video that I put on YouTube. Actually, I almost forgot to put it on YouTube. That went over well. The 3D animating panel that I kind of did was like a basics overall and how to do animating. Actually went really well too. There was probably, it's always hard to judge count, but there were 70 to 100 people in the room, I think. Nah, maybe a little less. But there was a lot of people that showed up and a lot of people that found it had useful information. Pinkie Pyro was there to, or Talon 4, I don't know what name he's using now, was there to help out with answering some of the information that was useful. There's no anthology panel this year. What was the other panel I did? Oh, 2D versus 3D with Minty, Pymations, one other guy, I can't remember his name, Genma, Yasho, and yeah, that was a lot of fun too. So the 3D animating panel was good. Because the only reason that that one always, the 3D animating one always bugged me was that it's pure information. So it's hard to find a way to make that entertaining as well, because it's not, having a panel that's just pure information feels like you're at a seminar, and I don't want to do that. I know some things went wrong, and I tried my best to make that my comedy, but so, and the complete lack of sleep didn't help either. Oh yeah, this is 10 seconds already. We're good. No, the Damn It Dolphin thing was, what con was that? Was that BronyCon last year? I think it was BronyCon last year. No, I am not a fan of reusing jokes, especially repetitive jokes. If I find something that's funny and entertaining, I will use it until I feel it hits its peak, and then I will stop. Eventually later you can start grabbing to it again, but I don't want to be a one-trick pony with stuff, so I usually will cut a joke out. I can make more funny stuff. That's fine. So, I forgot we were working on this thing. I think the audio was a little off there. Yes. Why is the audio off? This seems weird. I don't think the audio is going to be in the end. I think this is just going to be a GIF. Okay, so I gotta remember where the GIF was. Okay, so I'm gonna probably put it in the middle here because this is where I'm actually working from. It's just something stupid we were working on last week. So this is a funny thing with audio. So right now, this is what feels natural to me for sound. If I move it too far or any far forward, it doesn't feel natural. But if you actually look at the how this sound works, the sound is starting here. So it's weird. Sound is weird. No, I think, why did I do Luna? Oh, I just went on the DeviantArt and I looked for newer models. So I just kind of grabbing randomly. It's just something random to do. I need to have the coffee. What color is Luna's magic? Is it blue? I'm gonna assume so, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like it's like a light blue. No, see, well, this is a fan art thing, so I guess it's about being official. Yeah, I'm thinking it's actually like a light blue. That's interesting. Well, I guess it's for contrast. If you just did it the same color as she was, it really would make sense. There we go. See, it's actually kind of oh, that's just the laser. Her actual horn is kind of like a lighter. I don't want to go there. So it's kind of like a lighter version. It's kind of like her eye blue. Oh, okay, that's a good reference. Okay. Because we need magic. Well, there's blue. It covers so much. Look at my Twitter. What am I supposed to look at my Twitter for? What'd you do? I don't see nothing. I have a large one on it. Let's go 0 to 12. Alright, so we need to go kind of with that lighter blue. Okay, look at that, maybe a little lighter. Go with that. Okay, and then we're gonna go a little lighter. Where's my magic log? There it is. I don't do that. Oh yeah, I do. It's like I'm clicking buttons and I don't know why I'm actually clicking them, but I just keep doing it because I know my brain is doing the right thing, and it was, and I told it not to suddenly. Everything's just become muscle memory. That's actually one of the reasons that when people ask about starting out, what to focus on, and a lot of it is just putzing in the software, getting things to be muscle memory. If you can focus on, if you can remove the need to have to think about what buttons you're hitting, so you can just focus on the creative elements of what you're doing, it's so much nicer. So you're not worrying about like, how do I do it, or how do I get the software to do what I need to do. You can just focus on actually doing it. Like there, I forgot how to do it, but I just let my brain do it. And it's under back. There's this. Alright, oops. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Whoa. Okay, maybe the large was a little bit too big. So this is going to be magic log. The logs. Magic. Alright, that might be a bit much. Seen from Cody and the Kids Next Door. I don't think so. Maybe there might have been something from there, but I can't remember. It's been a long time. Might be. I like trying to pull audio from some stuff. I wanted to try, because I did something with talking just recently. I wanted to kind of go to do an ambient thing again. One that doesn't involve talking, maybe just some music. I did want to also try to plan out a, because BronyCon's last year is going to be next year, I wanted to try to make something specific for BronyCon that wasn't just a 15-second short. So I wanted to try to start planning that out soon here too. But I'm not doing anything on here because I'm thinking about not working it on the stream. It'll all be off stream, so that nobody sees. But more on that potentially not later, because I won't say anything. So we're going to decrease our count here. Let's say add 2 right. Let's try 200. Okay, aura's too big. Let's shrink the aura. Let's go radius of, let's go drop it down just a little bit. Kind of. I think this aura is still too big. That's more manageable. Yeah, that's my thought. Because I asked at the, I think it was the SFM panel, how many people go to my streams or have been to my streams, and I expected just a couple hands, but there was actually like probably well over a dozen people, which means that for them they've seen it before. But yeah, I thought about just making it a complete surprise for everybody, but I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Well, okay, I have a good idea as to what I want to do, but I need to check on some of the logistics, and I have to check with some other people, because it wouldn't affect just me. So I need to do some research. But the problem is right now, work has me very busy. I was originally going to be working all this weekend, left from home, and then that I got delayed by a week. So thank God. So I can do all that work next week instead of this weekend. But then, oh, and that actually reminds me, because it's on my brain, because today the 3rd, the week of the 13th through the 17th, so not next week but the week after, I am gone all week. I am in Texas. I'm north of Houston. I'm going to be there for a audit to assist with the company I work for. So because of such, I will not be able to stream that entire week, and that will also be happening 2 weeks in September. Might be pushing a little into October, but I'm going to be gone for a full week in like New York, and I can't remember the other location. So, oops, I gotta make sure she's still there. So yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to go. I don't, other than the 1 in 2 weeks, it's the only dates I have. Actually move? No. I did something wrong here, didn't I? Oh, I did the root. That's why. Or dirt. Let's try this again. Yeah, there we go. The smoke stays with. Oh, actually, the stars doing it makes sense. And actually, I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think you can even see your magic from here. Yeah, not really a big thing, but I'm going to do another one here. So this is the coffee cup. So I need to attach new magic to this. Oh, if you're copying something, usually it's fine, but I want to be sure. I think it's more of an issue if you copy a scene. If you copy a scene with a particle, I think it is, but sometimes when you copy a particle, I haven't tested it, it won't just create a copy of it, it will create a pointer. So if you change one, it actually changes the other one. So if you ever see me go into a copied particle and go to here to instance particle, it's because I'm separating the two or preventing issues. You can't instance here anymore because it's technically instanced. I'm not going to worry about that part until I got this mix or matched up here. I'm kind of curious how this cup's going to work. Sometimes it doesn't look right. Let's see, this one's still got the other one. I want that. It's not. It's, oh. Oh, okay. I had that wrong. I was thinking for a second, like, wait, why did that work, but the log didn't? The log is a separate model from the other one, so unlocking is what breaks it. Being a closest to adventures in the world. Probably not. I just got done with one collab and two different collab stuff. There's such a time investment, and I want to actually get focused on my own stuff, and I just haven't been able to do it. So no, I'm sorry. I've been neglecting my own channel for a while, and I need to stop that. Work hasn't been helping, but still. Hello, Kobayashi. Hello, Red Ace. How are you doing? It's really bugging me having this little window. I wish you could do like a scale thing. I guess that would just take more processing. I think I want to drop the size a little bit. I could probably drop the amount a little bit too. 150. Okay. This one is the one I probably want to have the stars not lagging behind. Actually, the stars are kind of big. Let's fix that. Seconds is still a lot, man. Yeah, that's better. Is there an alpha on this? Yeah, let's put that up a little bit more. Okay, so I did. Oh no, the smoke's lagging behind. I thought I'd changed something in this particle, or at least I found something to do that made it so that everything kept with it. It might have been the lerp thing. No, maybe, no, I remember the word lerp. But it's not these ones. Movement lerp to hitbox. Was that it? Oh, I already had that on there. Durr. I know there was something I added on this. That made it so that it did less lagging behind, but I don't think I ever saved it. I can't remember. Is it in the other one? I mean, that's lerp. Lerp's on there too. Lerp. Yeah, this is life. I don't even think that does anything. I just put it on there because it sounds funny. I thought it'd be a movement thing. Just can't remember. Whatever. I don't care enough. And where's my coffee cup? So, right now it just goes boop, boop. I need to have it have some kind of random motion in here. Okay, so I can cross to that point, and I can probably go a little bit more into that. That might be... I don't know. Do you think... If a pony was super hyped up on coffee like that, like twitchy, would their magic be twitchy too? How long did it take to make Prettiest Unicorn? I can't remember how I did it. It took a month of streaming. And I do 7 hours. I would normally do 6 hours a week. So if that was probably about 20 hours, maybe. Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on how magic works. If you're creating a field that negates gravity, then no, because it would just be floating in an anti-gravity field. And that's why normally things are floating. You would think that if they're actually physically holding on to it with their magic, it would not move. It would be more stationary and held. I mean, obviously, I think it just depends on how much power you want to put into it. Rarity obviously uses precision magic, so I would think that the amount of energy that would need to go into it would need to be higher. I would think if there's creating a feel like that, it might be wobble more, but I don't know if it would quite jitter. I think in this situation it'd be better if it jittered. But I don't want to jittering quite that much. And actually, the way I want it to actually move, I can't because of... well, no. I probably can. Let's try it. I would actually want to hit jitter like this, and then extend. Oh, I know I can still do it this way. Like looky right there, and then extend it out. That's still quick. Yeah, no, well, but again, it's like if you're creating a cloud of anti-gravity type fields, that'd be different than your hand holding something. It'd be like saying if you had a blanket between two arms that had something in the middle of it. Even if you were twitching, the object in the middle probably won't be twitching as much as you are. It's probably going to be moving a little bit more, but not that much. Because it's in a field of sorts. But for how it's, I don't know, magic is it's magic. Who knows? The discussion that shall never be won. I think this is just too strong. So let's go on. Whoa. Made a lot of red text there. So I can add the extra motion of like up and down. This is mainly just for other reasons. I don't like decaf. There's something about there's some, I don't know what they do to decaf, but to me it just tastes like they took all the flavor out of it. Obviously they have to process it in some way. I was called a coffee snob at work yesterday. Because somebody was talking about coffee, because they have free coffee at work, so I have a machine I can go to, and I can select different strength and whatever, and it grinds a coffee and everything is free. And so I was talking with somebody, and they're like, they're talking about coffee at home or something, and I went into the spiel of the coffee I normally have, and they're like, wow, you're a coffee snob. And I'm like, maybe. Because how I used to give the detail of what I would do for my coffee is I didn't just like go get Folgers and dump it into a can. That's like, I might as well just put like banana peels in there. I had a 5-cup coffee maker, so I didn't overly make, because sitting on the burner is only going to make your coffee worse over time. I would pick up French roast organic, which it actually made a difference. The normal wasn't as good. The organic actually is shiny with how much oil is still left in it. For Trader Joe's, it was actually really good coffee. I hand grind it. I would hand grind every morning per cup. It'd take about 3 to 4 minutes to grind it, but that was my morning routine. And then I would brew it, was in the shower, and then I would have my cup there, and I put in, it had to be Coffee Mate's French Vanilla creamer. And there would be so many natural oils still in the coffee that it looked like an oil slick on the top. It had like the rainbow colors on it. It was so good. It was so good. I haven't made that in a while though. I kind of cut out coffee for a while, so I put my coffee maker away, and now I've just been taking advantage of free because it's free. So, anyways, coffee stop. If you want to post the video to your announcement, sure, but I'm not going to show it on stream. I'll try to watch it afterwards. I think it may be based on concentration. Oh, about the magic. I'd imagine if your mind is racing, maybe their concentration is off, and that's what's creating the magic jitters. But still, it depends. If it's just literally a cloud of whatever, I could see that changes in concentration might change how strong that field is, which could cause it to get thrown a little bit. But besides that, I don't know. It's one of those mysteries of the universe. How pony magic works. I think I'm almost to what I want. A little slower. I'll call that good. I'm just gonna put a couple more smooth. Oh, couple more smooths. Oh no, not like that. Okay, we're gonna keep that one. I'm gonna pull this in a little bit. I don't want to have. I still want to have it stop and end it quickly, and that was not what I was doing. Oh, I'm gonna make a 6-second video. That is. On panels, that's probably one of the most common questions we got, and we had it this year too, of how long does it take to make a video? It's something that's impossible to answer. If you don't even have a pony in the shot, it's just a scene, it could take you 5 seconds. Or as in the Australia video, 6 seconds took me a month. So it just really depends on what's going on in that shot. And again, it's not a time investment for that specific thing. I can't do everything. What you see on stream when I do this is about all I ever work on stuff right now. Between work and everything, I really just kind of veg when I get home. I don't want to come home and then have to work again. Because this is kind of work in a way. Stream makes it a little more fun and engaging and stuff, so that's why I tend to do it here. I've just been spending. I worked 3 hours last night after I got home, so I just don't want to. When I get home, it's me time. I'm gonna. Okay, so this is gonna need. Right now, it's position. There's no. It's just kind of wobbling. It's like somebody stirring a cup. I want to actually have it. Rotate the jitter a little bit. Oof, this is actually gonna be tough because it's from the bottom of the cup. I think I'm gonna have to manually do it. No, I've done plenty of collabs. Pavs. Doors Anthology twice, Doors twice, kind of. Well, even Doors, I don't know if I'd consider that a collab. Pabs is the only thing I would consider that an actual collab. Well, all the rest are just a combination of videos put together. Pabs is where a portion of it was done, and other people did the rest. But But no, I've done stuff for other people, but most of those I've known the people that are running the projects. I just don't want to. If I'm going to put time into something, it needs to be something that I have a passion for. Or if I know the person really, really well, sometimes I'll just do it anyway. Or I owe them a favor. I've had that before. That's why I worked on Bunny Business. Oof, I'm actually going to have to... Okay, so I can't actually change its position with this, so I just have to be... Oh, just like that. Just have to be careful. Actually, I think this might work. I was hoping to change the position so that I could... That works. Alright, see you later. Dinner's a priority. Sorry, little Cam is on. Yeah, hello. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been here. With BronyCon and all that beforehand. And then I'm going to be off for another week coming up here, so. I wonder if I should dip this before she goes up with it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So let's get this position. Oh, I don't think I can change this position. Yep, it's going to fuck up if I do. Ooh. It actually makes this coffee cup hard to work with. So... Okay, so let's say that this is... Let's actually, like, select the right time. Okay. Say this is the time I select. And if I paste it here... Oh, it's actually not that bad. I thought it was going to be pretty bad. Okay, that's not that. I can do that. That's fine. The question is the neck. It depends. I mean, if you want, we can just make it a little. We can just make it a little longer. Here. Is that better? She's very focused on the coffee. She can't look away, no matter what you do. That's dedication. She must hold the coffee. There. This is how ponies work, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, I'm not an animal expert or anything, but pretty sure that's how ponies work. She's a very flexible horse. No, it's just I think it's just perspective. It's one of the reasons that I mentioned. It's one of the things I mentioned during the 3D animation panel. When you're cutting off ponies at certain locations during camera shots, be careful how you do it. Like to me, this is a poor cut because they're standing at the bottom of the shot. This is a poor cut because they look like a swan that's like floating in the water. Sorry. And technically, this I would consider a bad cut because it is giving too much neck. This would be a better cut. So if I were to do this shot to make it better for what I normally do for a video, I would do something like this. But it helps give a little bit more of that feeling that she's on edge. So for this shot, it works better to do it the other way. Normally for a shot, you want to cut it between joints. So the way I see it is this is the hand. You don't want to cut it in a hand. You'd probably want to cut it like I guess you could consider it like the feet. I don't want to cut it at the feet. What I'm actually going to usually cut it as right here. So this would be what my shot is. Not even that. It'd probably be a little more zoomed in like that. So I'd usually cut it right on this point. This would be like my mid shot. If you're doing by definitions, this would be a full shot, seeing them all the way. This would be my mid shot. This would also be acceptable for a mid shot because I'm cutting them off halfway through the body. It just depends on what you need. This could almost be like a mid full. This would be more of a mid shot, and then this would be a close up right there. So you can see the details of the pupil. No. Normally a close up would probably be something like that. And actually, if people want, what I actually should do sometime is I have the full presentation that I did at the cons. I only planned to do that panel this year. I didn't, because it was an information panel, so I didn't see being useful for doing it too many multiple years in a row. So I wasn't planning on doing it at any time after this year. So now that I've shown it, I'm okay with I could make a live stream version of it. And all that panel went through is it goes over the 12 principles of animation as it relates to 3D and kind of to pony, but mostly to 3D. The panel wasn't very pony focused. Goes over some basics of cinematography, and it went over just some tips and tricks to get started. The panel itself usually takes about 45 minutes to go through. And it's PowerPoint, but I don't like PowerPoints that you read from, where it's just like all I'm doing is reading what you see on the screen. So it's very much about just giving a couple lines or words of information and then me explaining it. So anyway, let me catch up here. Luna's a giraffe and Celestia is a swan. I know, I agree that Celestia does look like a, if you well, I don't know about giraffe. I mean, I guess we can, well, come on, fix it. Yeah, there you go. There we go. This is how the ponies get the leaves at the top of the trees. Like rawr, 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 rawr. Coffee. Rawr. But yeah, Celestia looks like a. That's actually, I think, what I mentioned at the panel a lot is when I'm talking about the cutoff. If you do this, it looks like a swan. It's a very good giraffe horse. How to add a scar with the bump map on a model? Yes, I can do that. Just needed one step quick. Letting us open a new one here. So, let's actually use a good basis to work from. So, I'm gonna pull up Future Rainbow Dash because I made the bump map for that one. What is Future Rainbow Dash? It was alternate. That's what it was. No, not augmented. I have too many Rainbow Dashes. What's with this? I mean, maybe it's just dash. There's this alternate dash. Okay. And to get a good example of this, we're gonna load up But just because one person doesn't want to join a collab doesn't mean that nobody does. It's just ask around. Sometimes it's hard to get something like that started if you don't know a lot of people to begin with. Whoa, hello Dash. All right, so first we want to see what it is that we're aiming for. So what Surya is asking is, how do you get this? How do you get a scar object like this that I'm gonna make it so it's easier to see. Let's go on to this one. Oh no, that would have did work. No. Okay. Okay. So, if you look at the lighting, let me see if I get this actually centered. There we go. So the lighting on here, you can see that it's not just like lit light or texture like that. If I spin the light around, you can actually see that it feels like it is actually three-dimensional, where you can see the shadow here. Its lighting actually goes through into the darkness here, even though it is perfectly flat. So it just gives the illusion of extra definition. Most super detailed maps that you see in a video game, that super detailed looking like little niches and scratches, they're not really 3D dimensioned like that. It's just that normally at a ground level, they can get away with being able to do a lot of bump maps because you're so far up as a person that you can't actually get to the angle to see that. I don't know, maybe there's some I don't know if it's from Assassin's Creed, I don't know. But the actual model itself, when it was normally created, didn't have that. It was just a flat bit with a texture that went down it. So I added that. So how do we do that? It's actually pretty easy, as long as you don't want to go into an immense amount of detail. If you're looking to add some of the texture quality that like a modern day video game has, you're going to need a lot more than what I'm doing. I'm going to be going over just very basic detail adding. So first thing we need to do is open up the Rainbow Dash here and get her textures open. So I'm just going to take my shortcut route. Okay. So the first thing we're going to want to do is figure out where it is that we want our bump map to be. We know it's in the eye, so that's in the body. So I'm going to open up the body. I'm going to ignore that body TGA right now. So you can actually see that this is where the scar is. So using VTF Edit or any program that lets you pull that out, I'm going to export it. I'm going to make sure I save it in the same folder. Replace, I don't care. So now, open this up. I can see where it is. So to do a bump map, I have to make a separate texture that says, you're making one that basically says, how do I want light to interact with it? And I always forget which was what for white or black in terms of depth, or having it feel like it's poking up or down. But if it's the wrong, we'll just invert it. So right now, none of the other parts for this texture matter really at all. The cutie mark doesn't, her mouth doesn't, or the interior mouth, eyes, nothing. Only this part. So that's the only part we actually care about. So I'm going to make a new layer here. We're going to go and just get this part. And that's pretty easy. I'm just going to right now go black, bam, oh. Let's go like this first. There we go. That's the only part I need. So really the rest of it, I really don't even need. But I will at least need something back there. And I actually put that right on the texture, didn't I? Yes, I did. Let's try this again. We're going to sample all layers. That lets me do it. All right, I think I need to be black. I'm not sure. So do it anyway. So I'm just going to go and make another layer that's white. Oh, it's because I sample all layers. Okay, so now I've isolated it. That's the only part that actually matters to me. But if I keep it as it is, it's not going to be a gradual. It's going to be literally like like you cut it with a knife, and it's going to be a nice sharp cut. That's not how an actual scar would work. A scar would be like a gradual dip. So we're just going to play with this a little bit to give it that. And I would think that's also going to be crossing a little bit into good skin and bad skin. So while this is going to be the actual border for it, I think it's going to be crossing a little bit of both. So to fix that, or to make that work, I'm going to go into, what is this? That's so. Hold on. I need to actually do this right, because then it works. If you don't do it right, it doesn't work. Words live by. Okay. And then we'll just get rid of the other one here. So, okay. So now I got my white background and my black. Okay. So I'm going to add an outer glow. I could just blur it, but if I do, a blur is going to make an even change. What I kind of want to make it have a gradual with a much sharper change in the middle. So I'm going to make an outer glow. I'm going to change it to black and change the opacity. Let's see if we can make the size a little bigger. And we'll do linear change. Well, yeah, I don't want spread like that. That's what's causing it to be weird. We're going to up it a little bit, though. We're just going to find what works. So I do want a little sharper at the beginning. Let's try it like, maybe like that. Let's try that. That should be fine. Any tips for getting people to join my collab? You can make an announcement video, but people have to find it. But if you post it, like personally, if I see people posting like links on videos that I've created pointing to other videos, I just straight up delete them. Because the point of people going to a video is to watch that content, and people going on there for that purpose only shows that they're there for almost malicious intent compared to legitimate. So I would recommend not doing that, but that's from my standpoint. Going to forums, going to places that people hang out, don't go to an SFM specific, go to pony specific. Comments work. If you know people, let them know to let people know. It's hard to do it unless you know a lot of people. It's a collabs always sound like fun, but it will be rough. I'm actually going to grab this one. I am going to grab a little bit of blur. I'm going to go to Gaussian, just a teeny bit. I just don't want that super, super sharp edge. Sure, we'll do that. So this would effectively be your bump map. We are going to do a little bit more to it, but this is what I would do. So you're just isolating it as like a black and white. So you're not actually looking at it as a texture. You're looking at it as depth. So between black and white is the contrast between the deepest of a cut in the bump and the highest. So I'm just going to save this. The standard way of saving a file like that is within _n, at least in terms of these files. So that's what you can see, wing compos _n. So I'm going to go body _n, just as my separation. It's because it's called a normal. That's what the n stands for. It's just it's a bump map kind of. So what we're going to do now is we're going to import that texture directly into this. So we're going to go body n, but I don't want to just leave it as default. First thing you want to do is generate normal map, and I'm going to change this. Normally I think the default is 6. I'm going to put it at 3. Leave all the rest as defaults for now. We can putz with it if it doesn't. You're going to get a bunch of purple and blue textures. This converted it to what a normal bump map is going to be looking for. I think that feels like it's popping out, but we'll see. So now we're just going to save that as, in this case, I'm going to save it as VN2. Something got missed down here, but that's fine. That's just going to be a bump on there. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this body texture, and we are going to remove the bump map because I want actually a good bump before and after. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna catch up here. So you can add a picture from anything to make it bump map. Yeah, anything that has, I'll rephrase that. Most things that have a texture can have a bump map. The only reason that you wouldn't be able to is if something is utilizing the bump map texture for another purpose. I can't remember if that's the case or not, if I'm thinking about something else. It might be like alpha layer stuff where the alpha layer of a texture, instead of being used for the purposes of like alpha or transparency, it's used for other purposes. But I can't remember if bump map has that purpose or not. I thought that it does kind of, but it should work for the most part. And actually, I feel that almost any texture should have a bump map. The nice thing about ponies is usually they're cartoonish, so having a bump map might make them feel too detailed for what they are. But still, and even then, I recommend don't go through a texture and add like super detailed like leather textures and all this. Be subtle about it if you're working with ponies, because they are inherently cartoonish, and if you start adding ultra detail, it's a horrible contrast. Try to find a balance between cartoon and detail. Anyway, so this is what the actual texture looked like before. So you can still see there was a white line, but without the bump map, it just almost kind of blends it. You barely see it. So this is what the texture normally would look like. So now, to actually add it to a texture, you'd add the line bump map, like I've done here, and then point to where that texture is. Nice thing is if you're doing the _n, you just literally copy paste this line, or if you have Notepad++, Control D, and then you just go bump map, and then add _n. That's literally all you have to do. In this case, I want _2. I do not recommend you use overrides for bump maps. So like, I recommend you do not add override material bump map. I will show you why in a minute here. There's a reason. SFM, I don't think was built to handle it. Okay, something didn't copy over. _n2, is that how I saved it? Body _n2. Oh, because it's commented out. There we go. Okay, so this is a little bit harsh on the edges. Oh, I can fix that though. It does look like at least it has the right direction because the light's coming from this way and it's dark on that side. But it definitely looks like it's a little harsh. So we just want to clean that up. So let's just go here and I think literally I'm just going to grab, I think I just need to get rid of that harsher line in the middle. So we're going to grab an outer glow Go like that. We'll go like that. Okay, let's see if that works. One of the things I've learned about maps is if you get it right the first time, good on you. It's not going to be that way all the time. It's going to be a lot of guesswork. It's going to be a lot of doing it and then realizing you had it backwards, or it just does not look the way you want it to, and you're going to have to redo it. But that's fine. Getting something right the first time is not how life works. Sometimes it worries me that I just missed something then. Oh. I did that wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. So it's still a little hard on that edge, but we'll make it work. Right now, so it's just for an example, so we're going to put that back in here, body N2. And if you're wondering where I get this button for up here in scripts, reload all materials, do a search on workshop. Somebody has it where you can do that and clear decals. Decals is more for if you're doing like TF2 stuff, which I'm not doing, but definitely useful. So this should smooth out the edge a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. So while this is way deeper than I need, it's a good example of, if you want to like reduce the intensity of it, when you go to import your texture, just reduce this number. I'm gonna change it to 1. That's literally the intensity. So you can, that's why normally when I make the texture, I'll make it literally black and white as the extremes, and then I will utilize the engine here to fix that for me. Yeah, well, less more subtle. Now, this was a rush job of one, so this isn't what I normally want to look at, have for a final. What I ended up actually having for a final was this. Which is, I think, is it's a little harsher on the edges, but rounder in the middle. So if I go back to that, there. That's what I got for a final. So, but it really adds a lot of dimension to her. You can get some like creepy looking scar looks there. But even if it's very subtle and there's not much lighting differences, just this alone, ooh, having it where it's not a straight line, where it breaks, the lighting breaks across it, adds a lot. So it's really nice. Are some of the models on your videos made by yourself? Very few. For instance, this flag that I made for Remembrance, I made. There's a reason that is black, because it texture broke and I didn't care to fix it. It's not gold like it should have been. I made the texture for this and the model for it. Most of it's just, and it's not even a flat plane. It's actually an actual model. I thought and the other ones I made were these ones. These flags. They're just flat textures, but I had to shape them how I needed them. And I made the textures for these ones. I think these ones are all skin based, yeah. So, and I made all the skins for them too. They're just essentially replications of what was in the shelf, but still. That's really all I've ever really done. I am not a modeler. I know how to manipulate some things and how to convert things. For instance, the oh, I guess it's not a binder. Can't remember the name of it anymore. Oh, I can just do it here. We'll do that here because it's better looking. From the MMO I used to play, I converted these models. Somebody had exported the OBJs, and then I found the way to actually convert it to the engine, put them in a Gmod with full hitboxes and everything that actually worked. That was a very long project. That was probably the extent of it, but actually from doing that I learned so much about how materials work in the source engine that when I started doing SFM stuff, it was invaluable knowledge to have. So I actually used, I think, is this plane for Alishai 2 because I had it. Anyways, regarding the reasons that I say don't do overrides for bump maps, I will show you exactly why. So we're gonna go and first remove this this bump map. So let's go into the texture here, and we're gonna remove it. I'm gonna need this anyway, though. Yeah, it was about as close as I could get. I didn't have an actual SR-71 Blackbird. Alright, so the actual bump map is gone. So I'm going to go into my overrides here. I'm going to add string bump map. And that actual bump map. And you'll see that, I think I copied number 2, didn't I? I didn't. Whatever. So you can see that that actually worked. The bump map loaded in. Perfectly fine, right? Kind of. So normally a bump map is supposed to, or not a bump map, an override materials is supposed to segregate and keep itself contained within that one model. With bump maps, it doesn't. So if I load up another model here, you'll notice that this Rainbow Dash has a problem. She is technically now missing a bump map. Even though she doesn't have an override, because she is the same model, that override affects all other instances of that model. It's the only one I found of that so far that does that, and it is really annoying that it does that. Meaning that if you want to utilize a bump map override, so if you want to bump map some models and not others, you have difficulties. This issue actually came up during Remembrance, because I used the actual pony models as the ones that exploded out of stone, but I had cracks of a bump map of cracks over them, and I didn't want that affecting the actual models during those renders, so I used an override for it, so that they actually during those scenes would have the cracks on them. They also had an override for replacing their textures to look like stone, and that broke them in those other shots. So I had to use a bump map that was a pure white texture as an override so that it had something to point to. It was really annoying. So yeah, just be careful if you're doing overrides for bump maps, because it does affect other models. Only in this instance, if there's but it does matter if it's in that shot or not. It will still affect both shots. It's whether it's in that same save file. Is it on my Christmas list? The SR-71 Blackbird. For two things. If I had a place to park it. No, three things. If I had a place to park it. If I had somebody to fly it. And if I didn't have to pay taxes on it. Because I could see that being an issue. Or have to pay anything for it. That'd be pretty nifty, I guess. Where would you park that? Just like go to like in the garage underneath my apartment. Like, I don't know if you can roll that down there. Like, get stall number 4 and just park your Blackbird in there. How would your reaction if a hacker taking your DMXs and your models and weren't uploaded to the public? Almost everything I've done is public. I actually have on. Oh, hello Luna. How you doing? Bye bye. If you actually go on my DA which is now very boring looking because I ran out of Deviant Core membership. Oops. If you actually go here, I have this file right here. All my DMX is already public. Well, it's per pony. This doesn't include save files. It's not that I don't want to save files. It's just that save files very much are locked and utilize the file structure of the system they're on. If I were to share that, I would have an absolute stupid amount of people trying to figure out how to structure their system to utilize it, and I don't want to deal with that. So I export everything as a pony because as long as you're using the same pony, it's exactly the same. So that doesn't bug me at all. If people grab my models, I really don't have anything custom that it needs to matter. I don't think I ever made the flags public, but they are included with the map. So I don't care. What was the other one? Yeah, that's both of them. Yeah, I could care less. The whole... When I make a video, it's to make a video as a final product. So once I've finished a video and it is done, there's no reason for me to hold on to the resources that were created from it. I'm done with it. So, like, the Remembrance Hall took a long time to get out because of a lot of logistics issues with it. But most of the other stuff, I try to get out as soon as I can afterwards because it's just... Me holding on to it is useless. If I can put the animation resources out there for people to download and they can utilize a part of it. I saw somebody that almost made an entire video from mishmashes of the animations from different videos I've done. That's awesome. They sat down in front of their computer and took the time to figure out and learn how to mishmash everything together, and with camera and everything. That wasn't stolen work. They took my work and made something else from it. That's awesome. I think that's great. It's an excuse to create. That's never a bad thing. So no, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm not here to make money off the stuff. I'm just here to create stuff. Once I create it, who cares what people do with it? But yeah, I do have to add more to that DMX. Nothing from Australia's in there, but Australia's really hard to do because I had so many custom things in there that exporting the DMXs is hard. Like, very hard. There's so many, like... It's kind of like when I did with chemistry, where to give Twilight a mechanical leg or two mechanical legs. I actually overlapped two models on top of each other and just shrunk her leg really small and had the other model's leg come out, and they animated both models separately. That took a lot of extra work, but it worked in the end. But I can't export the animation for both those models into a single file. No, I'm very much a proponent of open source. If I was making money off something to where holding out of those resources or having those resources go out would negatively affect my income in some way, sure, I have a reason to keep it. But it doesn't. So if somebody wants to go and try to recreate Remembrance using the hallway and the animation files, I'm not going to stop them, because I've already got my video out there, and I'm going to hope that the original is going to keep itself above the water for anything else that pops up. I think... Oh yeah, the hair's not... The hair's just kind of stiff. Ooh. Did I lock the jiggles for some reason? There was a reason. Oh, the ears. That's what it was. So, I'm going to just grab the ears here. I'm going to... Oh, that's tail. I actually got him before. I'm going to sort of save or copy him. You enable the jiggle bones. Then I'm going to rebake them. Ensure that they actually did copy over. Yep. And now I'm just going to grab those bones again. Paste. Okay. I have to be careful. The hair right here. Is it this one? Yeah. Is crossing a little bit into the body. So I'm going to just pull a little bit forward. The other thing I got to worry about is, okay, these two, I'm just going to put in. I don't want to deal with them. wonder if cheeks I can just drag down a little bit. No, maybe not. Yeah, make sure they're getting old granny. Yeah, open source all the way. Well, see, if the plane was at an airfield, though, and I suddenly had just an urge to, like, hey, let's fucking go fly and shit. I gotta drive there. I don't want to do that. Can I get another, like, smaller plane to get me to my bigger plane? That'd be nice. I don't know where I store the smaller plane. What if I stored the smaller plane in a smaller airport, and then I took, like, a smaller plane to get to that plane? One that I could have on my part. Maybe. Sounds like a lot of work, though. And very expensive for pilots. It said the stipulation would be I didn't have to pay for anything, so. Okay. I think the Luna might be. Oh. Hold on. Your main. It is not where it should be. Is that the only hair for your main? I think I went over this last time too. Whoa. Okay. So your hair would not actually do that. So to fix that, I'm going to lock it. You can actually see where it changes here. So we're going to grab the change bits. And actually, I'm going to cheat this. So I'm just going to round it. But I want to keep some of that random motion. So I'm just going to paste. Go like that. There we go. Okay. Now this is going to create some breakage. Actually, it really doesn't. It's kind of weird. I guess it is moving the same, so it's calculating the same. It's not pure random numbers. What locations in Ponyville do you wish to be in SFM, but they're not? Oh, the one location I actually would like to have is Twilight's houses. So we have one of Twilight's like interior of her room, like the wood house, but we only have it for one angle. It would actually be nice to have a full room of that, in good detail. But even now, I think if there was one thing that I would really like to have, it would be her map chamber from her castle currently. Just because it's where everything is focused on right now, and you could do so much in that. It would be nice if there was some hallways, not long hallways from the edges, but at least to where you could visibly see them through the door with them. But that's asking a lot for people. Working in a hammer and building maps like that is like pulling out all your teeth and then eating them. Not fun. Here's not clipping the cup, is it? No. Okay, so one thing we haven't done here yet is we haven't done a background. My thought is to keep it simple, so it could look like just a simple. We can probably just go like kind of a simple, like a white background, or like a kitchen type look. Well, even then, you probably wouldn't even notice the detail of it very much. I'm gonna load up I have a wall that I can load up right now. No, not that. It's I know exactly what I'm looking for. I think it's TF Movies. No, it was a type of wall. It just had a nice white plaster look. Oh, well, if I actually looked in TF2. Was he in TF2? Oh, for some reason said I wasn't. What was it? It's one of my favorite walls to use. I use this so much, you think I'd remember the name of the damn thing. It's actually, it's nice and thick, and it has a fairly repeating texture. It's pretty nice for scene builds. What's this one? Ooh, we might be able to make that one work. Let's make that one work. It's different. It's not what I was looking for, but just want to make sure that we're not going to have awkwardness for those lines going across, creating artificial somethings or other. Okay. Actually, I wonder if I should move that closer. Let's say for ceiling, let's see if there's like a white tile. It's cracked, I don't want that. Only the best for High Luna. What was that? Eyeball. Oh, okay. Weird angle. There's tiles, but I have so much like destroyed environment stuff. Like, see, that actually kind of works. But I don't know if I want to repeat that. Is that a tennis ball? Oh, okay. We'll give it a shot. So it's technically floor tile or a ceiling tile. So I did that because I want to actually get the orientation right. Problem is, oh, never mind. Oh, it's kind of off. Don't know if I care enough though. I do. There we go. All right. I think those might be a little bit too dark. Oh, we're in the wrong map. Come on. Also, Kelchan, keep group drama stuff to the group, not in public forum. Yeah, Face movie. That was what I was looking for. Yeah, that probably was the one. I really like the. I really like that one. It's just something about it. It's big and bulky and pretty cool. That's creepy. All right, so now we just have to do some general lighting right now. The Face movie one. I never used it for a roof. Okay, so this is where I was thinking that I might have some issues with the lighting. So this is going to just be ambient. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that the ceiling and everything is going to be lit evenly. So I don't even want these to be shadowed. So it's like I'm kind of using a 3-point lighting technique to ensure that everything is lit from the bottom, but I'm going to have to go through and add another one from the top. So now everything's pretty evenly lit. Now I'm going to go again. There. So it's just to create kind of like a default. So the 3-point was I picked points that were 120 degrees apart, so that's about 3 times all the way around from all angles. That gets rid of most shadows. 2 isn't going to cut it because you're going to have a nice dark line right down the middle. And then 1 from the top or 2, whatever you need to get rid of a lot of it. That's just to create the default. And so it looks like the ceiling tile actually does blend in pretty good. That's what I wasn't sure of. I thought it might be, might end up being too dark. I'm thinking it might still be, but I'm not going to care enough. Oops. She does move her head down or up. Okay, but you still can't see behind her head technically. Oh, it doesn't even matter. It's not going to show. Okay. So now I got the ambient lights. Now I can actually start playing with. Well, yeah, I want the lighting. It's just an ambient. I don't want it to be flat. Ambient should be flat because it's just the ambient light for the area. Now is where I'm actually going to go and add more specific light. I want to go from this side, give the implication of a ceiling light. Oh, this medic wall. Yeah, but normally, sometimes you just want a flat background. You don't always want a super ultra detailed. It's just a nice throwaway model to have in the background, and even though you might not use it for oh, I should probably turn the shadows on these. Even though you might not use it for its actual texture that exists, you can then retexture that to something else that you might want, which is where the usefulness that comes in for it is its structure allows for nice, easy wall building. Well, its texture itself is at least well enough defined so that you can create your own wall texture to it. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one a little bright, but I'm gonna actually bring this one back again. I wonder if I should focus on underlights. Five Nights at Lunas. I thought about originally having her at a computer or something with this, but and I can kind of still do that. So if we took all the lights here, we drop them down to like, let's say this, and then we made it slightly blue. Yeah, we're gonna need more blue and a little bit more red in there. Because then we can just change it up. Let's add a model. So a monitor. I like old CRTs. They always make it. Always good. 20s are a little behind. Okay, this is actually going to take 3 lights, I think. So there's the one. There's the 2. just gonna use another one of these for. Oh, I don't need these to be all shadowed. Well, the first one I need to be shadowed. Oh, actually that one does too. That one I can check it off. All right. All rested up from the con. For the most part, yeah. Have you ever had an idea for an animation but you just can't do it because of lack of a model? Oh yeah, all the time. Normally my option, what I try to do is either come up with some other method of making what I want work. Because just because you don't have a model doesn't mean that you can't make it work with something else. So I try to do some kind of a workaround if I can. If that doesn't work, I have plenty of other ideas, or I'll modify it. Like Australia was one that there was a lot of things that I really wish I could have showed, but I don't have the model for it. And going and putting buttloads of hours into a single model that was shown in 2 seconds of a shot isn't worth it. I'd rather go and start working on other stuff. My eyes. Okay. Okay, so I did, that's the initial glow. I'm actually gonna call this glow 1. The only thing I don't like about doing a name like that is that this name is different, but if you really want to, you can go into the properties and change it here. I do that with cameras. Okay, so this is the same one, but now I'm gonna have this one spread out more, just at less intensity. Okay. Now I need some good separation for her. And a lot of these would actually do it. So I'm going to grab this one. We're going to go and make it a little bit blue as well. And this is going to be some nice sharp. Okay. Let's screw it. Because I want to have her separate a little bit from the background. Like this one, I don't want to have it too bright. But I want to at least give her some definition. Yeah, for instance, in terms of custom models, Aggie did the Remembrance floor circle for me. Gun Griffin did the door in Remembrance as well as the flower pots. Aggie did the Wonderbolt symbol, which is only shown for like 1 or 2 seconds, but was needed and was, I thought, fairly simple. simple request anyway. It's I just don't like asking people to make things for videos if it's not a big enough focus to give them, I think, the recognition that would make it worth the time involved to make it. Like the Remembrance Circle in the door, there was a lot of comments regarding those saying, oh, that's really cool, whatever. Because then that's not a compliment to me in any way. That's a compliment to the person that made it. So that helps them out in terms of like feeling like they did something really, really cool. But if it's something that's only going to be showing for like a quarter second or in the background and not a focus, I don't really like getting people to make stuff because it just doesn't feel like they're going to get as much out of it. Because it feels like they should. So you can put somebody's name in the credits, but it doesn't mean that's going to be, to me, enough to recognition for the work that they did. And I appreciate the offer for making stuff, but it comes down to the same thing. That's the reason I've never really used voice actors or modelers or whatever. It's also because I jump projects a lot, and I don't want to have somebody custom make something for a project that then I push off for a while or cancel or something. So usually short stuff I don't mind as much, but I'm really hesitant to ask otherwise. I do want to try to start getting involved with more voice actor work. No, not me voice actor work, but getting other people or actual voice actors in for the content that I make. I don't know if I like that light. Should I just make the underlight brighter? Nah, that's kind of better. I feel like she does need more light. At least like down on her neck or something. What is causing this shadow? Is the cup? Yes. I'm okay with that. The same distance apart. They're not timing the same. That's not good. Oh yeah, I see that. I think it actually was a mess up on this part. I think that actually will fix the error. Shouldn't really be an issue, but everybody has their niche. I'm not. I'm bad at modeling. So if that works for you, that's great. do you think a full version SFM would look like? It's not going to happen. If you keep it in beta, they can change things without telling us and not care. As soon as it's in a release, then they have more issues they have to actually deal with. I think that's too bright still. Let's see if I can get this to work too. Okay, so it hits its peak right here. Starts raising here. See, it's down right away. So at this point, oh, she's not even up. Oh, I think it's a little downwards bounce I give it. Okay. During this time, her head lifts. Oh, nope, that's going to be a different point. So actually, I'm not going to worry about that right now. So I got to move that over there. I'm actually not going to deal with the thing that right away. Yeah. SFM is still beta. Technically. They haven't updated it for a couple years. Well, they did. Well, they were doing updates. I'm just thinking that they don't see a point in updating a software that might be obsoleted eventually by Source 2 in most of its functions. So the same thing. It's probably going to be 2 and then 1. Okay. And then during the period that her eyes are up, the light isn't hitting them as much. So that's why I wanted to do this, the other one first. So her eyes go, these hit their peak right about here, stay there till here, and start going down up right here. So I'm actually going to do like that. I'm going to do that quick too. So then these ones, we're going to zero the brightness of her eyes. Okay. That looks a lot better. Okay. Actually, I might darken that light on her neck a little bit. Well, Blender's always been there. I think people are learning, so they're moving to the software, and I think that's great. I just think I like the amount of resources that SFM has. To me, it's not the quality of the animate or not the quality of the render that matters. Well, the main reason to go to Blender is better physics and better render quality. But you also have super long renders and a lot less resources. So you're just looking at a longer time between in your development process, and I don't want to do that. I like to get my stuff done quick, and I know my interface, and I don't plan on going anywhere with it, so I'm good with where I am. Those shadows, do I want to cut them down at all? I'm going to cut them down a little bit. Okay. The only thing I can think of otherwise is if she's looking at a monitor like this, technically you could think that the colors would be changing, so I could see that being useful. The one thing I want to do here is her eyes. I'm gonna have them do a quick. Ugh, actually, I don't think I can because of the light. I mean, I can, but I just have to move the light with it. So I grab the eyes, have them go a little bit more the other way. I might do a little bit of a gap. I'll do that. It's a lot easier if I have the actual lights still selected at the time. Okay, I don't like how the right one went. Yes. Progress has been made. So yeah, I think that's the only thing I could see being a need now is to add in the changing lighting bits. But the problem is making sure that it's done the same. Well, actually, you know what? I kind of can. This is going to be experimental. Let's give this a shot, though. So I'm going to grab all the lights that matter here. So this is going to be that one's not a matter. I can leave that one. That one's not a matter. This one is. So I need that one's intensity. Actually, I need to jam its intensity and deselect these. Yeah, I can. That one's not a matter. That one's not a matter. That one is. I'm going to say this one is 2. Computer glow, that is going to be 1. And this one. And as well as her eyes. And the ambients aren't. Okay, so the main thing here is I want to get all of them to be at about the same level. So I'm going to remap this. We're going to drop this to drop it too much. Okay, it's close enough. There's a reason for it. Ugh. Close enough. A little bit more. Okay, the reason because how I'm doing this is going to be based on percentages of its max. So if I grab everything here and I go 1 or 0, I'm technically able to brighten or darken everything. Good. The eyes may be the only issue because of they have the dips. So I just have to be careful with how I do it with them. Okay, I'm actually going to just select what I need here just in case. All right. I can't actually go below. Oh no, I can. We're going to 0. 0 is to make it dark. So I'm going to go a little bit into 0. Okay. I'm going to see if I can do this. I'm going to go into... So I can't go into 1 very much. Be careful. So let's see if I can do this. It didn't save anything. Moving the whole thing. Can I not do it that way? Can I not puppeteer that? I don't... Oh, maybe I can't puppeteer with 1? Or do I have to have everything selected? Yeah, it doesn't look like I can puppeteer with multiple bones selected. If I had just 1 selected, can I do it? Nope, 1. Okay, so I just can't puppeteer with the 1 button. That sucks. That would have made that real easy. Still think your neck is a little bright. The only other option is to still select things as I had them. So glow, glow, under, 3, not mains. I think it's just, oh, in the eyes. Is to just do it manually like this. I think it would work. I think I just need to space things out a little bit more. I think I'm trying to go too much into it. Or maybe I'm just gonna ignore it. If I don't do anything with it, I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah, I'm eating that. I see the GIF. If I make it a GIF, it's just going to be stupid looking in terms of its everything. I think I might just keep it as it is. I may just change the brightness at like 2 spots. I think I'll just leave it as is. Just because if I go and change the lighting like that, a lot of these background elements right now aren't changing. They're exactly the same. So for a GIF, it's only keeping track of information when it changes. So if it doesn't change, it's going to be a lot smaller of a file. If I'm constantly changing every pixel, the compression is going to get really, really stupid. And a lot of the contrast I'm going to want is going to go away because it's trying to maintain way more colors. So right now there's a lot of blues, which helps a lot. Rainbow is going to have a really a lot harder issue. So I'm just going to leave her horn beam, I think, without light. I thought actually there was... I thought there was a horn magic. The glowing in between, but I guess not. Anyways, I'm gonna consider this basically done. I was just something short and stupid anyway. I'll try to render it out like tonight or something later, but maybe it's meant to be stupid, so I shouldn't keep putting time into it. All right, but I said I was gonna run till 8. I've got to work some this weekend, and I worked a lot yesterday, so I don't want to have more work tonight. So that will be it. I will be streaming next week. I want to try to think up some kind of a short idea to do so that I'm not getting. I want to start doing like shorts that I can do in like a week or two, really short ones. But more on that next week. But I will be streaming next week, but the week after that I will not be, because I will not be home. I will not be here. This abode. So, but more on that later. Whatever. So, have a good weekend, peeps. Thanks for keeping me company. And, oh yeah, you probably want meow. Good meow. Alright.